SpaceX will thermally condition the upper stage engine before the start of its first burn. Confirmation of MVAC chill. There are a few events coming up next in rapid succession. We'll see first stage main cutoff, or MECO, at about T plus 2 minutes and 29 seconds. That'll be followed by stage separation, and then the ignition of that Merlin vacuum engine. The payload fairings are set to jettison around 3.5 minutes into flight. A little more than 2 minutes into this mission so far, less than 20 seconds until MECO. Here you see MECO. Stage separation. Second stage engine start. You have good visuals on your screen, good telemetry coming down. In about 30 seconds will be payload fairing separation. The fairings will splash down on the waters of the Atlantic Ocean a little bit further downrange from where the booster lands on the drone ship. A short fall of gravitas. A nice view of Florida off the tip of the hypersonic grid fin in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Fairing step coming up. There go the fairings.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there you have it, confirmation of fairing separation and a beautiful view of the GPS-39 satellite. Now,
coming up on 4 minutes into flight right now, the next milestone ahead for SpaceX will be the start of the 3-engine entry burn, which will help to slow the vehicle down quite considerably. That entry burn is coming up in less than 2 minutes. Some really nice views of the Falcon 9's upper stage from our tracking cameras on the ground. And good onboard camera views as well tonight. SpaceX is just about 1 minute away from the start of the entry burn. Teams confirm that both the first and second stages are still on nominal trajectories. Good news at this point in flight. Coming up to the start of the entry burn here. Let's listen in.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And nice views of the entry burn as captured by our team on the ground. Well done. This entry burn lasts less than 30 seconds in duration.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
With the conclusion of the entry burn, coming up next will be the single engine landing burn, which will take the booster down to a soft landing if all goes well on the drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas. A little more than 7 minutes into flight. Still got eyes on the rocket's upper stage. From our tracker here at the press site. Second stage engine cutoff is expected a little bit past the 8-minute point in flight. That'll be followed about 5 or so seconds afterwards by the start of the landing burn.
MVAC shutdown. Stage 1 landing burn.
And there we heard confirmation of MVAC shutdown of the second stage engine on the right-hand side of your screen, and landing burn startup of the booster.
Nominal orbit insertion. Landing leg deployed.
Upper stage has entered into its nominal coasting orbit. At this point in the mission, it will remain in this coast phase until T plus 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds. There will be a burn of the upper stage engine that lasts less than a minute. Then the GPS satellite is set to be deployed at T plus 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 19 seconds post liftoff. While we're in this coast phase, we're getting our launch replays ready for you so we can show you a roundup of the various views that we had at liftoff. Right now, seeing some nice toggling back and forth between a view of the GPS satellite, the GPS 3 space vehicle number 9, and the Merlin vacuum engine. Right now, quiet as it's continuing on in its coast phase. As those replays are ready, I want to thank a few folks for their support of our coverage so far. Our thanks to channel member Mitchell Wilbur with a very generous $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Mitchell, for supporting us. That fine job as usual, Will and the crew. Very clear and cool night. Should be a good show. Thanks to everyone involved. And yes, the cold doesn't necessarily make things terribly comfortable outside, but it does make for some fairly nice views for tracking. Jim Edgar with a also very generous $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Jim. Jim says, Lisa Bean, Jim Edgar, the cats, Kip, Lola, and Miko watching from Snoqualmie up in Washington. Go Falcon 9. And Eric also writes in with a good bit of generosity with a $20 super chat. He says, yes, great job, everyone. Flight wraps up. The next mission for SpaceX is coming up on January 29th. That'll be a launch out of Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. 25 Starlink satellites set to fly to low Earth orbit on the Starlink 17-19 mission. So that'll be another batch of satellites heading to a polar low Earth orbit. So flying on a southwest trajectory upon leaving Space Launch Complex 4 East out there at Vandenberg. And again, also on the 29th, that is when the little more than 49-hour countdown is set to begin for the start of the all-important wet dress rehearsal tanking test for SpaceX and for NASA and its Space Launch System rocket. Continuing on in this coast phase for the Falcon 9 rocket tonight. Again, the next big milestone on this mission is coming up at T plus 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds for the second and final pre-deployment burn of the upper stage engine, with the GPS satellite set to be released about an hour and a half post liftoff.